and that is ensuring that the Jersey Shore can be open to families across our state and region, and we can do it in a way that is consistent with protecting the public health of every beachgoer. The Jersey Shore, after all, is where memories are made. The last thing any of us wanted was for a summertime down the shore to be a memory. Today, I am proud to announce that yes, our shore and our lakesides and our lake shores, rather, will be open. And as with all of our decisions, we followed our core principles that data determines dates and public health creates economic health. Just as importantly, the steps we are taking today are also coordinated with our neighbors in Delaware, New York, and Connecticut. This is an approach that is absolutely essential to our futures, both as individual states and as a region. And here in New Jersey, we have also engaged in direct discussions with leaders up and down the shore at all levels of government. Folks and friends like Len, who knows the issues of our shore communities and economies better than anyone else. I mentioned the other day that we had a great conversation with both the 4 shore counties and a number of the municipalities and mayors just a couple of days ago, earlier this week. I also want to give a shout out to some other folks. Senator Vin Gopal, who represents so many of our great Monmouth County beach towns. His advice and counsel and advocacy for our shore towns was similarly invaluable. I also give a shout out to another friend, Monmouth County Freeholder Director Tom Arnone. I also, just by example, and again, Monmouth's my county, so I'll brag, Mark Walsifer and his team in Belmar put forward, in particular, a really smart beach plan. And I want to thank all of the other local and county officials from up and down our coastal communities. This was truly a collaborative process, again, not just Monmouth and Ocean and Atlantic, but obviously Cape May, represented by Len today. We want everyone to have fun, but we need everyone to be safe. To accomplish both, we will be requiring restrictions on how many beachgoers may be allowed on any beach or lakefront. And the social distancing we've been practicing in our hometowns will be extended to our beaches. And to be clear, no one will be discriminated against. No community can turn a public beach into a de facto private one. All visitors must have the ability to enjoy our state's greatest natural resource. Every beach will be required to establish capacity limitations, but we will leave it to local leaders to determine the method that would be best for their community. This can be done through methods including limiting the numbers of available beach tags for any given day, or through utilizing technology such as with a geographic spatial analysis. Social distancing measures requiring at least 6-foot distances between beachgoers will be enforced except for family groups, household members, caretakers, or couples. This is the same approach we have taken with parks. And again, we will leave it to local officials to determine how best to implement these measures. Each of our shore and lake communities have unique characteristics, and we know there is no one-size-fits-all approach. However, some restrictions do fit across the board. Organized games and contact sports will be prohibited, as will beach recreational summer camps and special events that draw people to the beach, such as concerts, festivals, or fireworks. Sanitation will also be of great importance, especially since this order will allow for shower pavilions, changing areas, and restrooms to remain open for visitors, and they must be regularly and properly cleaned. And with this order, I am also directing the reopening of restroom facilities at our parks, so long as they undergo frequent and proper cleaning as well. Commissioner of Department of Environmental Protection, Catherine McCabe, Matt Platkin would want me to remind everybody that it will take a while for us to roll through with the proper seasonal staffing to get all those restrooms up and running and open and properly sanitized. So at the parks, please bear with us. That will begin, I think, as early as Saturday, but it's going to take some time. On our boardwalks, restaurants may continue to operate for takeout and delivery only, but the rides, arcades, games, and other draws must remain closed. Other features that are meant to draw a crowd, a waterfront fountain, a playground, or visitor interpretive center must similarly remain closed for the time being. This is not a life sentence here. We could have a dramatically different reality a month from today. And I promise you, we're going to monitor this for both sides, by the way. We've got to comply, folks. You've been extraordinary. We've got to continue to comply now at the beach. And assuming we do, and assuming the curves keep getting better, and assuming Judy and her team feel comfortable, we will be able to take more steps. And I promise you, we will not hold those steps back 1 minute too long, nor will we jump the gun, I hope, not 1 minute too soon. Our beach and lakefront communities and counties will also engage in comprehensive public outreach campaigns using both traditional and online media, and yes, even the ubiquitous planes carrying banners to ensure that all visitors are aware of the restrictions in place as well as what is expected of them while visiting. And while we are not specifically ordering it, we highly recommend that you wear a face covering, particularly when social distancing is difficult to maintain, such as waiting in line for a slice of Boardwalk pizza. As I've said many times throughout this emergency, that I wanted to find a way to allow our beaches to be open for the summer. I applaud Len for raising his hand in partnership for bringing together a broad coalition of Cape May shore towns and for working with us so we could reach this day. I can't say enough good things about the level of cooperation, Len, to you and your colleagues in Cape May and frankly right up the coast in Atlantic Ocean and Monmouth. But you're here today for a reason. It starts with you, and thank you. We are living through unprecedented times, but we have confidence that residents and out-of-state visitors alike can take in a day at the beach safely, so long as the measures we are announcing today, and which are outlined in further detail in the order itself, are followed. And by the way, I should say this, it does not say in my remarks, this is all, Mike, effective Friday, May 22nd. So folks, we're giving the shore communities and counties an 8-day runway to get to take these general guidance points and make them work for their communities. Again, public health determines economic health. Our shore economy is a tremendous driver of local jobs and revenues. Because of the work of millions of New Jerseyans, of you all out there to slow the spread and flatten and lower the curves, we can confidently take this step today. And by the way, data determines dates. Memorial Day weekend is still more than a week away, but the data tells us we can make this announcement now. After months at home, I know many families, probably measured in the hundreds of thousands, if not millions, cannot wait for a day either down the shore or alongside one of our lakes. And I am proud now to be able to give them that day, a day they worked so hard to make possible. Again, I want to thank the freeholder for traveling all the way from Cape May to be with us, and I thank him for his advocacy for our shore communities and his insight, which has been invaluable in crafting a plan that will ensure that families will continue to create their shore memories. So we'll hear from Len in a few minutes. So this Memorial Day, New Jerseyans can still have the words that ring in our ears thanks to Messrs. Springsteen and Waits, because down the shore, everything's all right. And even in these challenging times, that is exactly as it should be. By the way, we are aggressively reviewing pool protocols as well as charter fishing, which are not part of this executive order, but we would expect to have some guidance in the next number of days